not that you don't want to be out and seen out in public, because she did go to that event the day before. I think, maybe Gigi Hadid didn't want her to show
Blake Lively saga, but hold up, honey. This time it's not Blake stirring the pot, it's Gigi Hadid. And let me tell you, she dropped a bomb live on air. No scripts, no mercy, just pure unfiltered drama. So here's the real kicker. After Taylor Swift basically ghosted her, yep, she did, Gigi was done. Like, girl had receipts, and she came in hot. She didn't even need to say a word. Her actions screamed louder than any mic drop could. Blake, she wasn't ready, not even a little. The way things unfolded, woo, Blake must have wished she stayed curled up in her mansion instead of stepping into this mess. So here's the tea, babes. Gigi and Blake, once BFFs, now not even frenemies. They were the absolute it girls, arm in arm on red carpets, clinking glasses at brunch, lighting up Instagram like friendship queens. They were the definition of gold. But now, the dream duo was cracking, and it's not quiet or polite. It's loud, messy, and totally public. You want to know how we know? Blake didn't even show up to Gigi's 30th birthday. Yeah, let that sink in.
Bradley Cooper is probably waiting to be subpoenaed.
Because Diddy's currently in a scandal.
The thing is, the more she shows how happy she is and that she moved on from all of this and that she is out celebrating life, the worse it is for her.
Let's think this through for a sec. Gigi Hadid, literal supermodel, fashion royalty, hitting the big 3-0, an event that had the entire A-list ready to party. But Blake, nowhere. Not a post, not a whisper, not even a fake, sorry babe, can't make it Instagram comment. Just poof, silence. Coincidence? Maybe. But let's be honest, this feels personal. Gigi's done this before, remember? She cut off Taylor Swift once like it was no big deal. Girl knows how to clean house when the vibes turn toxic. So maybe, just maybe, Blake got the boot. And with her name slowly fading from Gigi's orbit, Blake's probably feeling that Hollywood chill for the first time in forever.
Know that Blake and Ryan flew to Wales on Saturday. They were there for a football match with Ryan Reynolds' football team, Wrexham, and there were pictures everywhere of them kissing and showing PDA in public.
And Blake not showing up? That wasn't just some oops I forgot moment. Nah, this was a statement. Gigi's birthday was the event. Her absence didn't go unnoticed. It screamed, it shouted, it made headlines. But hey, Blake's been juggling her own hot mess express lately. Legal drama, Justin Baldoni beef, media chaos, girls carrying baggage, and it's not Chanel. And maybe, just maybe, Gigi and the rest of Blake's glam circle are seeing her for who she really is. The mask slipping, the sparkle fading. As Blake's perfect life slowly starts to unravel one by one, the people around her are quietly dipping out. Gigi might just be the first domino to fall. And let's be real, who wants to stay close when someone's spiraling into chaos? Now let's get into the juicy mess that is Blake and Ryan's relationship. After that awkward birthday snub, these two went full throttle PDA, like calm down. They were basically performing a rom-com live in Wales, hand-holding, smooching, forced laughter. It was so cringe. The vibes? Desperation. They weren't just in love, they were trying to prove it. Too hard. And don't even get me started on the photos. They looked like they were trying to convince the world that everything's peachy, but you have to prove you're okay. That's usually a big sign that you're not. They were putting on a show and everyone saw right through it.
All these photos of her, and then there's a video of her where she's like directing, of course, her husband or where to stand, and she's taking photos and waving to all the fans and posing with fans and taking selfies and like, hey, we're so happy and we're...
It was less awe and more OMG, please stop. That whole look how perfect we are moment, total act. Nobody asked for that performance, but they served it anyway. And the more they tried to sell us that fairy tale, the more we started to see the cracks in the glass slipper. It didn't just fall flat, it exposed everything they were trying to hide. And let's not forget, their weird obsession with validation made things worse. While they're shouting, we're fine, to the world, the echoes are screaming, we're falling apart. It's tragic and kinda addictive to watch. Here's the thing, when you're really unbothered, you don't need to prove anything. You just live your life. But Blake and Ryan, oh no, they're fighting to stay relevant in the messiest way possible. And those cracks, they're not going away. No matter how hard they try to patch them, it's too late.
And of course, now that we know what happened, what she dragged Taylor Swift into this, Selena Gomez is like, yeah, Taylor, I told you so. Stay away from Blake. Anyways, I don't know if this is based on rumors or whatever it is, but it's interesting to see now how so many people are taking a step back from Blake.
The damage is done. And now, as if the drama wasn't already dripping, boom, Selena Gomez's old warning about Blake just came back from, and let me tell you, it's haunting the entire situation. Allegedly, Selena warned Taylor Swift to stay away from Blake. She called her toxic, manipulative, like real deal red flag stuff. And this wasn't just petty shade. Selena had been there, seen the behind the scenes drama, and decided Blake was a no-go. Now, with Blake dragging Taylor into her legal swamp, Selena's I told you so moment just hit different. This warning dropped right when Blake Blake and Taylor were getting chummy, and Selena was not feeling it. Taylor might have been dazzled by Blake's charm, but Selena? She saw through it. She wasn't about to let her bestie fall into that trap. Blake wasn't squad material, and Selena knew it. Selena, being the queen of quiet wisdom, could smell the toxicity from a mile away. She's lived that Hollywood pressure cooker life. She's seen the masks people wear, and she knew, deep down, that Blake was flashing neon red flags. Fast forward to 2025, and boom, Selena's instincts? Spot on. Taylor slowly but surely stepped back from Blake, keeping her distance like someone avoiding a drama-filled car crash. Coincidence? Or is it Selena's warning echoing louder than ever? And let's talk about Blake's legal drama with Justin Baldoni. It's getting messy. She's tangled up in a whole circus of lawsuits and speculation. Meanwhile, her once shiny public image is starting to look tarnished. Suddenly, it's pretty clear she's been clinging to A-listers like Taylor Swift, not for friendship, but for leverage. Blake's out here trying to look squeaky clean, but behind the scenes, it's looking real strategic and not in a good way. Selena, ever the silent observer, kept her inner circle tight for a reason, and now we know why. Blake's vibe, that charming camera-ready persona, might just be smoke and mirrors. The accusations, the manipulation, the legal drama, it's all starting to add up. She's pulling people like Taylor into her chaos, using their credibility to cover her tracks. And honestly, it's not working anymore. The cracks are showing, and so is the truth. And let's not forget, Blake was in that movie too. Her hands? Just as dirty, she had every chance to stop it, and she didn't. This wasn't about comedy. This was about pushing boundaries, their own child's boundaries. For laughs, and for what? Publicity, clout, career brownie points? And when the backlash hit, Ryan brushed it off like it was no big deal. We made her do, 70 to 500 versions of that line? He laughed it off. But nobody else is laughing. Because when you're in the spotlight and you choose to involve your kid in something this inappropriate, that's not just bad judgment. That's dangerous. What's worse, the mainstream media barely blinked. They glossed over the whole thing, focused on the cute family moment instead of the serious questions this raises about parenting, boundaries, and public influence. Ryan and Blake have spent years crafting this perfect couple image, but this blew it all up. They crossed the line, and now everyone's seeing it. So here we are, after everything, the shady friendship breakups, the fake public displays of affection, the buried red flags from Selena, the chaotic set rumors, the parenting controversy. You'd think Blake and Ryan might take a step back, but no, they doubled down. And the cherry on top? Ryan proudly, almost smugly, refers to himself as Father of the Year for letting his daughter say that horrifying line. Like, what? Sir, this isn't an award show. This is your kid we're talking about. It's not cheeky or edgy, it's wildly inappropriate. And Blake? Not a whisper of objection, just smiling along for the ride. Let's be clear, this wasn't a slip in parenting. This was intentional. And the worst part, they turned it into a spectacle. Instead of apologizing or acknowledging the misstep, they laughed, deflected, moved on like nothing happened. As if the world was just supposed to ignore the fact that a 7-year-old was coached to deliver a vulgar joke for the sake of a superhero skit. That's not quirky parenting, that's disturbing. And Enns, bless her heart, clearly didn't even want to say the line at first. That alone should have been a massive stop sign. But instead of protecting her innocence, her parents, two full-grown adults with all the resources in the world, pushed her anyway. And yes, Blake was involved too. She was in the movie, in the scene, in the room. Her silence? Loud. They claimed, oh, she came back later and wanted to say it, but let's not fool ourselves. That's classic damage control. A child wanting to please her parents after being pressured? That's not consent. That's manipulation masked as enthusiasm, and the fact that they're using it as a defense just makes it worse. Ryan even admitted it. We made her do 70 to 500 versions of that line. Like it was some fun behind-the-scenes trivia. As if we're supposed to laugh and say, oh, what a dedicated little actress. No, the public isn't buying it anymore. The line was gross, the context was worse, and the parenting, questionable at best. And what about the media? Where's the outrage that usually follows these types of controversies? For most people, this would have been career-ending. But for Blake and Ryan, somehow it just slipped under the radar. Why? Because they've spent years building this perfect couple brand. All smiles, all sarcasm, all safe. But now, that facade is cracking wide open. Ryan's motion to dismiss Justin Baldoni's case literally called him a predator, yet this same man is out here writing sexually explicit dialogue for his 7-year-old daughter? You can't have it both ways, Ryan. You can't preach moral high ground while sinking to the same depths you're condemning in others. It's textbook hypocrisy.